is for mid laners. People just want that safe lane, and to make their top laner have priority in fights, make their bottom laners safer. Basically, you're going for that safe lane that has some bully potential. Lulu can roam very quickly and get to places and shove out the lane. So all around, she seems like a very strong pick. The fact she just jumped back into the meta all of a sudden over things like Azir and Victor is actually very cool.
Ryu's just like, why is everybody jumping on my bandwagon now? Ryu plays that all the time, H2K. He's good to go. But no, definitely seeing the benefit over here.
Finally,
that's the North American teams. The Olaf band does come in. We hear the crowd. A little bit of a cheer there. Dyrus, however, now this is where TSM might have to switch something up unless they somehow pull out another Olaf. But I find that highly difficult to do at this point. Rumble and Nidalee are going to get banned out. They don't want Santorin on that, or rather want Move on that. So we'll see how they kind of trickle down the jungle picks now after they ban it themselves.
I want to see if the Diana ban comes out again. Okay, good. They substituted for the Lulu. What's this Diana all about? Because if you find out in Game 4 that you didn't have to ban Diana in Games 1, 2, and 3, you're really going to kick yourself for that one.
Well, finally they are adapting to the series. Lulu and Olaf have been giving them a lot of problems getting rid of both of those things, obviously. Nidalee as well with the Braum ban. So really just trying to shake everything up. We should see a unique game.
Shen. They're going to pick Shen. No.
Sure?
Yeah, that's
what about Elise?
Likely.
No, there's
Elise
so much left up, actually, for here. The Alistar is also still left up. A few things they can get to make sure nothing too much is told about the entire composition. Still get themselves through this one safely. Gravity taking a lot longer than usual here. It could still be a flex pick. They choose to be very ambiguous about their composition. And they're just going to let the time run down here, actually, to kind of... No, they're not. Nice. It is going to be the Shen first.
Makes the most sense. It was something that was banned away by TSM in the last game. And it was pretty pivotal in Gravity's ability to collapse on the rotations that TSM was making.
Yeah.
Something that was sorely lacking in the last game.
So, probably a jungle here for Team Solo Mid, you would think? Make sure that's on the board.
Yeah, I want to go back. I do want to go back to the Shen for a second, because that was kind of the crutch that Gravity was leaning on in the game that they won. Because when you're able to collapse faster, TSM is running them all around the map this entire series, and they can't keep up with the momentum of TSM, knocking down these turrets and rotating between lanes. Shen's your answer. Shen's your guy.
They teleport in, right. Let's see if they work it accordingly. They can still go to Bunny Fufu on that Shen. And the support picked up to not show much, but the Elise in the jungle for Santorin, as his Nidalee was banned out by Team Solo Mid alone. This would probably push Move onto that Gragas or Evelyn. I'm seeing even a Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
That looks like it's going to be a locked-in Elise here, so Santorin switch things up a bit for himself.
Really do feel like Nidalee and Elise are the top two junglers on this patch by a pretty large margin. So being able to pull that off and not even having to first pick the Elise will be beneficial for TSM, assuming they have a good pick for Dyrus against Shen. Which we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that just makes Shen an even better top laner. Like we talked about, it could be a flex pick for Bunny, but when Olaf's not on the table, what answer do you have? Does he go with the Gnar? Well, that's actually a pretty good matchup for Gnar. We saw it actually go in Shen's favor yesterday, but that matchup is typically Gnar favored during the laning phase.
Yeah, and I wonder if Move's even going to go with the Eve once again. Had a very underwhelming performance that first time. Eve is stuck around in the meta even after the nerfs because of how quickly she can still clear with the Runeblade.
It's also just the presence she has. It really forces your team to buy pink wards, and if they're not on top of that game, then they get collapsed on. They get Eve from different angles they weren't expecting. But TSM were on top of their ward game over and over again.
Tristana left up once again this game. It is going to be picked up by Gravity. They'll have a bit of an advantage taking down these turrets now. The TSM doesn't have their maybe Jinx and Olaf at low health to start taking down those turret swaps. So a little bit of a change there. Triss back in the game for them. Sivir still open for Team Solo Mid. As we were saying before, these guys love having that in the composition. It just makes things so easy for the engage. And if you have the Gnar as well, easy to throw him in there with that speed.
Yeah, it's allowing Dyrus to be a split pusher. It's something he's done a lot of. He's actually played Gnar 6 times this split and is 5-1. It's one of his best top lane champions. But it's very much in a split pushing role that he plays that Gnar as well. He's only had 56.8% kill participation in his Gnar games, but won 5 out of 6 because he's really been a strong split pusher. That's exactly what he needs against Shen.
But when he's against Shen, though, and he has the split push pressure and low kill participation, does that mean the Shen is going to be able to go to other lanes much more often and just increase his own kill participation? So Gravity does have an opportunity to actually take these fights.
The whole reason, in my opinion, the whole reason Gnar is a good pick against the Shen is because if he gets a slight lead, you can then out-push the Shen. So even if Shen does teleport in, you take the turret because you always have the lane pressure. And therefore, since you have the advantage on Shen, you can also match with him teleport.
Yeah.
What will Gravity round out with? I already have the jungler by Fun Hubber. Could be the Janna, actually. It is going to be Shields And a bit of disengage as well coming in for Gravity here. Interesting way to round out the composition.
I'm still wrapping my head around the Diana. If he picks Diana here...
You're going to go to bed tonight thinking about Diana.
Like, it's not even a good pick here. So, against Urgot. Yeah, against Urgot, against Shen. You don't have enough damage to blow up anybody when there's a Shen on the enemy team and you're playing Diana.
And that's the thing. Maybe they're baiting that out as well. Understanding that if she does dive in, they have a Janna. It'd be hard to play Diana in this situation anyways for Bjergsen if he were to take that. 20 seconds to lock in a final member to round out a composition that looks like it wants to get on you pretty quick. Can Bjergsen throw into there? Victor's still available here for him to go to. Something easy. Oh, he couldn't really put a Kage. Not enough protection here.
Ari was...
Ari.
Oh, that's right. He was left up last game, but he didn't go for it.
Yeah, in the first game. That one slipped right through, so they are going to go for the Ari. Bit of AoE AP for them, and safety for Bjergsen. I actually see him trying to kill out Keen in the mid lane here. Have to be careful, though.
Yeah.
More action in that matchup.
It's an interesting choice, because, I mean, we mentioned how it's not a good time for Diana. Aside from Bjergsen being a very good Ahri, it's still somewhat of an assassin-based pick, and they're still up against double shield and an Urgot, so it's a very tanky lineup they're going to be going up against.
Back to what we saw during the split more.
Same problem.
Yeah, it has somewhat of the same problem, so Bjergsen will really have to outperform the expected role to make this work in this team comp. Overall, though, TSM does have a lot of damage. Gravity should actually be feeling quite good about this one because of their tank.
When a lot of games into the Silver Scrapes for Europe, can Gravity make that happen here in North America? Can we get a Game 5? Is Gravity ready for the long haul for their inexperience in best-of-5 playoff matches where TSM is a veteran?
And TSM looking to keep that veteran status going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They've made finals every single time. And Gravity, they're looking for their first semifinals ever.
It's going to be tough. Chronologic Gaming after this. They will have to fight. We saw yesterday Impulse will be going up against Liquid. That should be an interesting match for them as well.
Yeah. It's Impulse against CLG.
CLG, right.
Liquid
I was thinking, I switched the brackets in my head.
Yeah, the
from
winner
top
of
to
this
bottom
plays
is the way they were
Liquid.
played. You're
But how
correct.
about that Madison Square Garden go?
Don't want to mislead anyone. Madison Square Garden is for the finals.
The
And
finals,
third,
right.
fourth place.
Because there's a third, fourth place match, the semifinals will be played here in LA, and the finals and third, fourth place match will be playing in Madison Square Garden. But a win here basically secures their spot at Madison Square Garden because it's guaranteed top four.
We've heard what that means to the players in the teasers, the trailers that have come out. That is a huge spot, a big stepping stone, as Alltech said, to continue moving themselves on. It definitely proves what they've been trying to put out to the fans all season long. That it's that they can make it, and they have the potential to keep going. See, pretty much the same start, not as deep of wards being allowed to put in here with a kind of line of scrimmage wards being placed by TSM.
It's actually very different because Gravity have only
Right.
placed down one ward in this entire first
As
minute
I
and
said
a half
that, I
of the
noticed
game.
how far they hadn't got in.
Why would you save all your trinket wards? Still a minute and 50 seconds.
Very frugal.
It's very curious. I only do that when I think somebody's going to invade me, and then when I'm doing my buff, I slap it over the wall, make sure they aren't there. But
What's hilarious
That's
is
so-
the one ward actually sees the person that's invaded them.
worth
100%
value ward,
100% ward participation so far. Very well done.
making everyone count.
Yep. Back down to the bot lane. Turtle looking to put a bit of damage on the lane before they get CS in, causing Bunny Fufu to go ahead. Shove down to Biscuit, and we'll just see Move and Haunter together here until Haunter can get back to the lane by himself. Double jungle on both sides. We'll see what the difference is here between the teams, because it shouldn't be as the same of a start, I should say, between last game.
And the fact that there aren't lane swaps going on, we have to look at the power of the 2-on-2.
Right.
The Tristana Janna lane is the lane that's pretty much the best demolitionist lane. You have the Tristana to just put the explosive charge on turrets, but then the Janna shield on top of it just enables her to burst it even harder.
Yeah. And I see, at least early on in the game, the Sivir Alistair lane is pretty defensive. It's short range Sivir. Basically, Alistair displays linebacker. Overall, or offensive lineman rather. Overall, I think the fact that this isn't a lane swap game heavily favors Gravity. Only because they were getting outplayed so hard in all the lane swap situations, they just straight up couldn't keep up. And now it's a more neutralized setting. No one's getting a big lead on either side.
Yeah.
And Alltech and Bunny Fufu can try and go to work 2v2 where they have an edge on Wild Turtle and Lustboy, both in champion select as well as their play throughout the split.
Yeah, the laning phase as well. The aggression towards Bunny Fufu and Altec seems like that communication is definitely there. Nice hits by Haunter onto Dyrus. This is good focus. Another situation where we could see Dyrus going down under his turret if Move decides to get up here when he has the chance. We already saw that happen going in game 2. Big reason Gravity was able to keep themselves within that game.
It's not even if Move shows up either. Because he's Evelyn, you always have to think about, could he be in the side rush?
Yeah, is he right next to me?
Exactly. Is he coming around the turret? So you'll usually see the lanes of TSM play a little bit further back than normal unless they have an escape tool available.
Mid lane, not too much in favor of Keen, but he has stopped Bjergsen on a few minions per each wave coming in. Ricochet's keeping Wild Turtle a pretty good distance from his turret, in range for maybe Santorin to sneak in if he wants to. Not anything they're trying to get going though at this time of the game. Just 5 minutes in. Very safe. Except for Move. Or I'm sorry, except for, yeah, Move, I should say.
Move taking a few risks, getting the deep wards in.
That was actually cute by Wild Turtle. Walking up to the low HP creep, spell shielding so the explosive charge AoE damage gave him mana back.
Actually, yeah. Very nicely played. Playing against the Caitlyn or something, you got mana batteries all over the place, but definitely good to keep in mind when you can get that mana back. Wild Turtle doing so doesn't really have to worry about hooks or grabs in lanes, so he can easily use those to get himself some good resources. No potions yet used by the AD carries here. Does it again, actually.
It's so important to keep your mana up in this lane, though, because you're throwing out boomerang blades and ricochets constantly up to or against what Altec is doing is just passive.
Yeah,
spending no mana to push the wave. You have to keep up. So doing that is very crucial to actually stay even.
Yeah, interesting play. Definitely never seen that from a server player before to take explosive charges. Yeah, so.
It's also somewhat dangerous because you're basically walking into auto attack range.
If he auto attacks you, he gamed you.
Yeah.
Boomerang straight through, cut through the shield, but it would have been a lot more damage had Bunny Fufu missed that. They're still trying to play aggressive, keep pressure on Wild Turtle in the bot lane and Lustboy. Surprised we haven't seen too much jungle pressure down here to start things off. It looks like they're happy with the way things are going, and the junglers are hitting their breakaways, so they want to keep in that jungle. 8,000 to 7.7 right now. Just the CS is really giving the lead over here to Gravity at this point. Nothing too big. Both junglers back. Going for a bit of ability power on their builds. Same build path in that, essentially. You see Dyrus still taking hits up top. 38 to 30 in that lane, so Dyrus is falling behind slightly, but nothing that's not going to make him still a giant number.
It's actually pretty big, though, because there's 4 potions still left in Haunter's inventory.
The potion, yeah, you're right.
He's getting
that
all of these taunts off
could push Dyrus
that
out.
reduce your damage during the trade, and he just wins them and runs into brush. Drops the aggro. Really, really good lane mechanics there.
It's also fairly disrespectful. Being able to taunt in the lane that frequently just says that he doesn't expect Santorin to ever be up there. Finally, though, Santorin is there, and the ward is in the spot. Instead of coming through the lane, since the lane is shoved, Haunter is able to stay pretty safe right there. Santorin could have done a bit of a sneak attack, but does not do so. And all the time is for naught.
Pretty close there.
Help him shove it out.
Looks like they won't. Yeah, help him shove it out. Looks like it won't matter. Haunter stays safe on this one. Let's see if they get Dyrus a ward, actually. He may just want to back if they can get this up to the turret so he can get himself some items.
Yeah. Leaving him in this lane for longer seems like a bad idea. Out of potions. Going to lose that war over time. Give him some shove, give him some attention. You see Bjergsen running up top. Urgot with the lack of wave clear. Very exploitable in that sense. But look at this, they make a play down bottom because they see that.
They hit Move with the headbutt, double bounce onto Haunter. It's the flash out and the spell shield coming in for Wild Turtle. They're going to get out alive. So many resources used here, and Haunter can't get back to the top. This leaves Dyrus alone with the turret, and TSM gets out clean. Flash used.
That was just really nicely played by both sides, I think. Gravity saw the roam coming up top lane from TSM, immediately go for the play bottom, but Wild Turtle avoids it. Nice use of summoner spells by both Lustboy and Turtle to make that escape. And the investment itself for the gank wasn't that high. Knowing he's Shen, knowing he was going to shop anyway, teleports back to lane.
Yep.
Nothing really lost has happened. Only good things could have happened to Gravity for there. TSM dodged a bit of a bullet.
This could.
You have item advantage. Bully him a little bit.
Taunt still
He'll
4 seconds. Doesn't have the lane to get him with what jump would be coming up for Dyrus. So Haunter plays that one smart to get as much CS as possible.
I like that, though, because that means Dyrus is about to back, trade as much as possible. You are going to burn through some potions of Haunters. You're going to back and
That's
TP
true.
in
That's a good
with
point.
your own items. Do as much damage as possible so that when you get back,
Right.
you're in good shape.
Kind of like when you're a support, or I'm a support, and I eat a biscuit on accident. I'm like, well, I might as well just go fight. So
Yeah,
I
there you go.
Use this biscuit a little bit. Just get that last bit of damage in valiantly and safely. Dyrus will return to lane quite well off, 56 to 57 in that CS, and he's got his phage builds up. Turtle could go pop, and he does. Kill picked up for Altec.
So we did not have flash or heal from the previous
No.
game. And he also didn't have Lustboy to play defense for him. That was a boo-boo by Wild Turtle right
Yep.
there. He should not have been in that spot in lane. Was trying to get the last little bit of gold, I think. Or he already bought. Yeah, he had a BF sword in lane. There was no reason for him to greed for CS at that point. But he does, and it costs him first blood.
Feeling safe. He was not. You can even see the vision is pink warded out there, so he was running around in a pretty big fog of war, an area they did not control.
First
Top
blood.
lane, still back and forth. Not too much here, but Haunter's plays around the map could definitely take Dyrus off guard. Dyrus gets the hop, and the flash has to be used. I'll be back up at 14 and a half.
This is going to be bottom turret, though, because they killed Wild Turtle, and it's the Janna Tristana composition. You get that turret so quickly. That was basically, I think, 3 casters and a cannon minion. They were able to take it from 3 forts.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that the standard lanes would favor Gravity. And we're seeing the results of that right now. We've had matched farm with Santorin early on in the game, but basically Altec and Bunny Fufu, with the help of a big gang, are able to take the advantage down bottom lane. Haunter is working Dyrus a little bit with all the taunts in lane. It's just going perfectly for Gravity early.
Exactly. Haunter was able to push Dyrus back. He needed assistance. They sent people top, and Haunter gave him the runaround. Big part of having Shen in top lane is that he gets to show up in the bottom lane. You always win that fight by outnumbering them.
Very strong map movement so far from Gravity, using those level 6s as well, just about when they came up, making sure they haven't had an advantage. Dyrus gets back to lane, definitely not in the damage-dealing factor of things. However, builds a phage, being more of the tanky guy this time. We do see Santorin instead of Cinderhawk, Runeglaive, actually for both of the junglers this game.
Clear speed, something Santorin wants a lot of since he does a lot of farming in the jungle. Also, higher damage.
There we go. They put the Janna Trist into the top lane now. Put it where the turret is still up. It's something that they failed to do.
Jeez, they're
The
going to
first
get a
game.
two-turret advantage temporarily.
It's such a good combo.
Yeah. This is where we saw Gravity last time being pushed off the turret because they tried so late.
Yeah, it's not only that you're getting bonus AD from the Janna shield. Explosive Charge has more damage multiplicatively based on your AD. So the damage that you get from the Explosive Charge when you're shielded is about 80 more at this rank, and then it just goes up even further.
They're going to get how much damage on this next turret as well. Their second tier, just prepping that one down, should be about half HP. You can see Bjergsen pushing Keen out in the mid lane and trying to get a push in as well. Not as much roam from Bjergsen this game, trying to also keep Keen down.
Well, Keen hasn't been kept down this series at all. We talk
He's
about
trying to be consistent.
his variance,
Yeah.
and he's being consistent.
Well, I suppose, yes, he has not had a big win or a big loss, but a lot of that has been on Bjergsen playing the very neutral mid laners, 2 Lulu and 1 Orianna. So
Even not going as aggressive, or maybe Keen's not letting him on the Ari that he finally gets.
one thing I noticed this Urgot game, he has picked up the 1 win Gravity has on this series on Urgot.
Very true. They are not hesitant to go into fights. We even kind of heard Kopp saying as he was walking off the stage, don't hesitate, don't do what we did. in that first game. Make sure you guys can come out strong and really have confidence in your engages.
Yeah, and Gravity has been able to pick up 2 turrets with no answer. This is actually quite rare. You normally see a turret trade of some kind, but it just shows that Gravity's had that lane advantage in multiple lanes. They're really exercising the mobility of the Shen from a map-wide perspective in order to have presence in both of these lanes. Keen is splitting with Bjergsen, which is exactly what he needs to do, since Bjergsen needs to snowball wildly far ahead for an assassin to work against a tank shield composition. This game is going extremely well for Gravity.
And if Keen is able to actually tag Bjergsen again, get him about half HP, force him back, they will probably immediately call Altec and Bunny Fufu to the mid lane, knowing Bjergsen has to back. So if he gets the poke on, that opens opportunity in that exposed turret.
That, or it's ready for this dragon. TSM has already set up forward wards for it to make sure they see move coming in from the outside in a spot. But he didn't have camps to clear, so he may be able to make it quite close before they even spot him out. They'll set up some more wards. TSM kind of bullseye here to Gravity in their base. See how Altec takes this one. Was that the jump as well coming in? I don't think Altec's going to be able to do it anymore. He was stopped mid-jump there. Gets himself into the brush to deny some vision. Dyrus does not have much movement towards the team. He looks like he's going to get himself in a good spot now. Yeah, move eventually goes down. Dyrus slams him into the wall. And this is going to be a few more kills coming in for Team Solo Mid. They walked that one out, cut off Gravity, and started slaying him.
Yeah, a unique fight right there. TSM was trying to pull off a flank, and move had actually been undetected through most of that, I think. So it was a strange initiation. Basically, it came down to the teleport timing of Dyrus. The instant he came in, he turned into Meganar. That's pretty much the ideal scenario you would want. He just crunches move upside the wall there to pick up the first kill for TSM of the game. And it lets them bounce back a little bit despite their turret disadvantage.
It's just so strange that Altec would be pushed up that far. And when they saw Lustboy and Santorin go around the left side into their own jungle, very curious. And they chose to take that fight afterwards. Altec very well could have jumped back towards the turret and gotten out of there.
Yeah.
And Move could have ran the other way. He was invisible. Nobody had spotted him.
They themselves thought they were going to be able to turn that, I think, because Move was mostly undetected, so they thought they'd have
coming in too. They thought they had the number advantage.
Yeah. But ultimately, Bjergsen roamed before Keen as well.
Yep.
It's another thing that turned out for us.
Twice in a row. This time it actually pays off. Bjergsen's able to get there and help, where Keen is just a little short, something we've been seeing for the past 2 games.
Yeah. This is what they should have been doing instead of pushing Altec down a long lane. They should have taken it middle and then go towards the dragon back and forth between these 2 objectives until you at least get one of them or both.
They're back. Definitely don't lose too much after losing a few of their members, and they're still able to come back stronger and get onto that dragon and maybe start to pressure middle a little bit as well. Top lane's going to have to be taken care of while Turtle is on it. And it looks like we're going to get some defense from TSM in the mid.
See that again.
Yeah.
Altec has the opportunity here. That's only the explosive charge.
They knock him pretty far
so
back.
He still has his jump.
So he didn't jump.
They burned the Sivir ult up on the top side, so that's why I think Gravity thinks they can win this
Wild
fight.
Turtle's half HP as well, but they catch move in the brush. Pretty random occurrence there. That you check around, you find the Evelyn.
Well, Evelyn had already revealed herself because he'd aggroed Wild Turtle early on. So basically, Move was just trying to hide away from the Ahri. The pathing from the Ahri versus the Urgot allowed Bjergsen to reach there a lot sooner.
You should have been called off.
Most likely. Hindsight 2020.
Yeah. Doesn't mean I can't call it out.
All right, so Dyrus, Olaf or not, he's going to go ahead and just build a Black Cleaver again. He's still going to try to carry from this Gnar position. Leave Lustboy as the tank, let him do things that tanks do.
He's got the 40 CS advantage. He's in a position to split push with the kill and assist over Hansard.
Especially if you're not kind of expecting that. Obviously, they can see his inventory, but now a Sivered up Gnar flying through the fight, able to just jump over the team and get to that back line.
There's also a really well-timed teleport from him. He had Mega Gnar.
Yeah. There's a few of them that he has been come up big on with those teleports. Quadra kill of last game to be in the right spot at the right time as TSM was able to get that Dragon Ace slowly back and forth. The 2 kills they just got are the only two of the game. 2-1 so far. See if Dyrus can keep himself going. He's participated in everything at this point. Sight stones, not on both sides. Double sight stone for TSM here. Going to start being able to control the map, but that's not going to stop Move from buying a plethora of wards and setting them out, as you can see. Good deep wards.
Move trying to make sure he keeps his combat effectiveness this game. Maybe an Abyssal Scepter instead of an Aegis early on in this one. Although the Aegis will be just as valuable. They're going to have to probably build it on Bunny Fufu. Or even Haunter. Haunter's built Banner of Command in the past. That would probably serve as
I think you touched on the Rune Glaive as well for Santorin on Elise. Full AP build going to be coming through here for him this game. Just being another threat. It seems like Move identifies that and starts to build some magic resistant.
Already has the haunting guys ready. TSM is ready to get into these fights, it seems, once those last core items are finished up. Just two of them, and they're going to be extremely powerful. Bjergsen already past level 11. They're just waiting on that for a few more members. Actually, not that they even spiked that hard at 11 across their team.
And while everything else has been happening, Dyrus has a 50 CS advantage on Haunter, and you're really seeing the power of the Gnar against a split-pushing Shen right now. 2-level advantage plus the Black Cleaver, so he's shredding through the Sunfire Cape armor quite easily and basically just solos out that turret, cutting back the disadvantage that TSM had prior. Also an upgraded trinket. Dyrus is really good at this split push Gnar. He gets the upgraded trinket, gets the deep wards on the side that he's going to split pushing, and then just bullies the guy who they send for him, generally staying pretty safe as well. We'll see if he can continue to execute this properly while staying safe.
Yeah, he has so much ward coverage in that jungle that's placed down for him, and he has trinkets still in the bank. He's going to be safe for a while. If they sent two people to deal with him
against Dyrus, and that's not something we're always saying. A very different team solo mid here in the playoffs, and they said it would be. That is what Bjergsen stated in the trailers. That's what Loco Doco said when I interviewed him earlier today. Is that things are going to change. We may lose one game to something tricky. So far, so good for that. Gravity still has a very good chance in this game, though. It has not gone either way too much. But Team Solo Mid is looking to take control very soon. 2-minute Dragon could mean a big fight.
Haunter better watch out. He went in for a taunt. You can't duel Dyrus anymore.
Haunter had to flash the boomerang to get out of that one. Dyrus nearly with the solo kill.
Yeah, it's not the same matchup that it was a moment ago.
Dyrus has been a top performer for TSM this series. Huge improvement he's had. Watching this again.
Yeah, goes in for the taunt.
Yeah, I made a huge mistake.
But I'll make it again. Walks up, tries to make the best of it, but no. Dyrus still, he even had transform there too, so he transforms, make sure he doesn't die on the turret shot. Looking at the items again, Bunny Fufu, after Sightstone and Moby Boots, Zeeks is going to be the item coming in for him. He didn't get to complete it on his Thresh game. So he's looking to enable Altec to do as much damage as possible. If you can blow up this Ahri, who's not going to have his own use for a very long time, and it's going to be a squishy Elise at all times too.
I love Zeke's Harbinger. I feel like in most games, if you have an Infinity Edge AD carry, you want it. You want it somewhere in your builds.
Even if you don't have an Infinity Edge AD carry, it's still very, very, very strong.
Yeah.
See if Gravity can get in a position once that item is created to use it. Right now, Altec staying safe. Dodging out a bit of Bjergsen there as we saw here, and it looks like both teams starting to group. Dragon on the plate. Who is it going to be served up to, though? TSM would obviously love this fight with the wards they have up. Almost a few members to pick off, but they still have to respect the pushman.
Yeah, and a lot of this fight will have to do with the prep from the top laners. How poked can Dyrus make Haunter, and how can he manage his rage bar before the fight as well? The ward coverage is more even than it has been in the past. TSM has that one nice spot of vision right in front of the Dragon Pit. It's going to be, this is kind of the deciding moment of the mid game.
Blue buff up. They can't really do anything about this. Dyrus has the pink ward down, absolute control of it.
They're all back so far away, so they're basically just giving the Dragon up.
Their items ahead as well.
That's
Don't
what
want to
the
make a
crowd
mistake, but it seems like they can just roll through one of these fights
Oh,
if they are to
now.
engage
TP
it.
to the bottom side of them. He has flash. Is he going to go for it? No.
Oh, misses with the house.
Oh,
It's going to
boo.
be jumps out. Whoa, Lustboy over the wall. That's going to be the house hit. And Dyrus picks up another kill on the game after TSM continues through. They persevere for that one.
Moved way separated from the rest of his team. Did not need to be in that specific spot, but it allows TSM to pick up a kill on a very late play they made towards Dragon. Yeah, I think TSM was the advantage team if they were able to get a clean 5v5 team fight right there, but they give up a ton of ground to Gravity. Gravity up 2 Dragons to 0. TSM was pretty bold.
Oh, Lustboy looking for a plan out tag.
Can't you see?
The crowd control train coming down the path. Altec's able to jump out of the way just at the last second to get some big damage missed. And Bjergsen's coming up on the other side. Spirit Rush already used quite a bit ago, so he's picking these up with regular spells. They're going to be able to drop Haunter. Too many members of Gravity split up now as TSM is making their way through the jungle. Move wants it again, but they're 3v5 right now. This has to just be deterring Team Solo Mid, but not at all. They actually put themselves in a bad spot, and Gravity goes down now, trying to deter Team Solo Mid for more. Dyrus gnaws out at the perfect time. Once again, it's going to be an ace onto Gravity, and Team Solo Mid start to lock this one down 22 minutes in.
Dyrus has been having such a good series, and this specific fight favored TSM for a number of reasons. They have the assassin-type team on Bjergsen, but he had access to the squishy targets with his charms. Santorin was pinpoint accuracy on his cocoons, and TSM took a very close game and just blew it wide open.
A 6,000 gold lead already, and you're ending up with this ace. Lustboy waits for Altec.
Yeah. I do have to mention, though, that Gravity had no business being in these spots. Move was already dead. They'd already lost a fight. All they needed to do was sit in their lanes and try and wave clear. But instead, they grouped 4 people in between their safety of turrets and take a fight that they have no chance of winning. Like, unless they're looking for a pick in that situation, which they shouldn't be in that spot.
And we talked about this composition. It is a pick composition. You have a Sivir who's going to get you when you're out of position. You have an Alistar who's going to punish your positioning. Ahri and Elise.
Great double pulverize there by Lustboy.
So many things working out right now. Dyrus as well, the right spots at the right time and understanding what he can do with Gnar, how much longer he can be under the turret, and just timing things well with the ultimate. Looking at when they came into this game for KDA, 72, 45, and 126 for Haunter, or 124. You wouldn't think that Dyrus would be the one getting the kills, because Dyrus was 38, 39, and 124, almost even in kills and death. But Dyrus is completely outshowing Haunter throughout these games, and it wasn't something TSM was letting him do. This absolutely seems like they're allowing him to kind of go with his own game.
A lot of it just has to do with what types of team compositions they build. So much of the numbers that TSM had during the regular season were self-fulfilling from the champion select. They were picking Bjergsen onto the only champion that could conceivably do damage, and then playing completely around him. Anything Bjergsen could do, he's the only playmaker.
Yeah.
And therefore, everyone else's damage numbers on TSM were pathetic, because they were, since no one else on TSM was doing damage. And now they're picking more well-rounded team compositions. Dyrus also getting a lot of gank assistance, and now they're just picking up everyone. And look, Bjergsen only comes in at the end of that play. That was a play created by people who were not Bjergsen, and it's ultimately what any team needs to do to succeed, is have multiple threats.
You're talking about having multiple threats. Santorin is now being able to play threats in each series. He was always on the Gragas, the Rek'Sai. 14 out of his 18 games, he was playing those 2 champions. Now we're seeing him on Italy, we're seeing him on Elise, we're seeing him on these S-tier champions that deal a lot of magic damage, which in turn actually enables Dyrus and Wild Turtle, because if they're playing these physical damage champions, they aren't being counter-built.
Nice little counter push by Gravity, I have to mention, though. Once the Baron goes down, using Triss to definitely demolish those turrets very quickly. Doing their best to try and make it to the next one, but the Baron empowered recalls give TSM a bit of an edge.
Oh, he actually went back. Wild Turtle staying for the turret.
Quick choice from him. Who will back on the side of Gravity? It doesn't look like anybody's taken to it yet. The move is just on the side. I think he'll probably show himself and push Turtle off. He's not actually seen. The taunt from Haunser is going to have to cool down on this one now. And they may actually be able to get him in range. Turtle's wards keeping him quite safe. TSM could make a lot of moves here. I don't think they're going to be able to, though, as it's just wave clean up. They're not going to be able to push anything in their favor.
Yeah, Haunser, not that strong. Not that strong at all. Very behind this game. The first pick shed, getting counter picked by TSM.
So there's that Zeke's. It is finished. Up onto Bunny Fufu. We'll see if it will come into play for these guys once they get into those fights.
More unlikely now that they're down 8,000 gold. Also, the full physical team by Gravity. They got away with it before.
Yeah, putting all their eggs in one basket seems to hurt them this time.
The magic damage from Evelyn is also decent, but I don't think it's the same level that they're able to provide with the Elise. With the Baron buff.
Without a care in the world, Dyrus just toying with the front line and back line of Gravity right now. Able to do whatever he wants with where he has put himself in this game. 4-0-3, 7 out of the 9 kills he's participated in. Looks like they're setting up for one more. Lustboy got it. He's trying to rinse and repeat from the same location. Does not look like Gravity wants to leave their base now. Rightfully so.
Yep. You talked about how last time their double AD composition worked out, Jat. Well, they fell behind this game, and the Baron's already gone over to TSM. Basically all the elements that counter it.
Yeah. Limited fallback pattern for them with such low wave clear. Against a heavy wave clear team for TSM. Easily rolling into the base with this Baron.
And it was a lot different when TSM stole the Baron last time as well.
Oh,
they
move.
weren't pushing the inhibitors just yet. Gravity still had some space and breathing room to work with, but not this time. Move. Every time he's in the eyes of Team Solo Mid, he has gone down. We talked about it from game 1, that he made a few ill movements and went down as well. He just hasn't been positioned correctly with the team so far, and it's definitely costing Gravity.
There's something near the end of the split, too, that we saw move going on these champions by Evelyn, not having great games. And he's just having another poor game when they need him most.
Well, it makes it hard against Shell Dyrus, right? Playoff Dyrus. He makes things a little bit more difficult from wherever he pulls his energy from. Maybe it's all the fans. He did say he still always enjoys to play for the fans, and they have been cheering quite loud for him today.
Yeah, well, he's deserved it. Dyrus has played very good game.
Fantastic.
Few little missteps he's had on Olaf in the previous games, but by and large, one of his best performances that Dyrus has had in a very long time. The most experienced member in the North American LCS, still right at the top of his game.
Interesting to see that confidence come out of his that champion as well.
And he was the guy that after MSI realized top lane needs more priority on it. Top lane needs to have more resources put into it. He started grinding solo queue extraordinarily hard, climbing the ladder. I think he's in the top 10 right now. But, not that he's caught right now, but he's still going to be fine. He just has so much.
So much gold. There it is, the Kansas City Shuffle. He should be all right. He's like against the ropes. It's another punch. 1-2. He gnars out. They're going to throw in the towel, but no, Dyrus stays alive. No towel to be thrown. 2 kills already. Ultek and Haunser is down. Bunny Fufu quickly follows, and Dyrus squeezes tight. He's still alive.
Oh, an unfortunate pause, our first of the series, right at the moment where he gets the huge one. We'll find out what this is about. Or will we? Or will we? They're unpausing right now.
It's unpaused.
Or will we?
All right.
Or will we?
Needed a moment to...
Everything got quiet.
Moment to breathe.
Everything is okay.
Playing again.
Going for it. Looks like TSM.
We're back in the game.
They might be ending the
should
game.
be the game after that. Dyrus with a bait right there. Huge tankiness. Gets the Meganar, slams him against the wall. Everyone in Gravity goes in. This should be TSM moving on to the semifinals.
Move back. They may have considered that a pause or a check of anything wouldn't help the game. It's going to be ended. Team Solo Mid running down the tracks. Dyrus, the front of the train throughout the playoffs. And Team